All right, so before we get this video underway, I want to start it off with a sincere apology. From the bottom of my heart, guys, I apologize for making you guys think that I like men as a result of wearing these glasses. Now that we got that out of the way, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how after 2 years of being a brokey, I figured out how to scale SMMAs and went on to scale 4 different SMMAs, 3 to 6 figures and 1 to multi-7 figures in the last 4 years. Now, first, to show you guys that I'm not just another guru trying to pull shit out of my ass to try and sell you some bullshit fucking course, I'm gonna first throat fuck you guys with undeniable proof that we've actually done what we've done, and you are welcome to verify anything that you see in this video online. Then I'm gonna give you the high-level strategies that we used in order to grow these agencies. And then at last, I'm gonna break down each and individual step so you can see the scripts, the call recordings, the team, how we did our service delivery for each stage of each individual agency. So it doesn't matter what niche you're in, what off you're running, or what stage you are in your business, you can copy what I've already done, apply it to your agency, and make so much money in 2024 that you literally have no choice but to start spending it on hookers and blow. So let's start with my first agency, Wilson Media, which didn't actually mean to become an agency. See, growing up, I'd always been an entrepreneur. I started my first business when I was 12 years old, selling fishing tackle online. I always did lemonade stands. In high school, I tried e-commerce dropshipping. But one thing that I always had a passion for throughout that time was making videos for other people. And so after getting into university and realizing immediately that I was surrounded by a bunch of NPCs who didn't want to actually run a business and were literally just stuck in the matrix going through the motions because society told them to, I ended up leaving school. And my justification to my parents for being able to leave school was that I had my videography business. And so my original motivations getting out of school was to make enough money so I could prove to my parents that I didn't need to go to school, and so I could do my own thing, right? And so what I did there is I had a videography business, which really it was just me with a camera. And I went onto Facebook groups, I went onto Instagram, and I would DM local businesses and I offered to work for free. I built up a little bit of a portfolio. From there, I was able to get my first couple paid gigs. And then from there, people were asking for photos. And then people were asking if I could run their social media too, and then their websites, and then their Facebook ads. And this was where I really learned the foundations of marketing. I said yes to every single project that came my way, which although was a terrible way to scale, wasn't a terrible way to learn how to market and to learn how to build a business and to acquire a Swiss Army knife set of skills in the beginning. And since leaving school, this little videography business turned into a full service agency where we basically serviced every single niche with every single offer, with every single type of service delivery. I had a team of 10 employees and it grew to over 250 clients through word of mouth and organic social media. And so my process was simple. It was to relentlessly post on all social media platforms every single day to all the businesses in my local area, so every single person knew who I was. And it got to the point where every time I would go to a local networking event, a chamber event, any local in-person meet and greet, everybody already knew who I was because I had either followed them, connected with them on social media beforehand. And then once I had this foundational base of social media content, every time somebody followed me, I would hit them up, I would begin that conversation, I would DM them, and I would do my very best to convince them to get on a call with me. Now, at this point in my business career, I absolutely sucked at DM outreach. I sucked at content. I sucked at everything. But with just enough relentless effort, with enough relentless focus, I was able to grow this agency to where I grew it. Right, so here's what this actually looked like in reality. So right here I have pulled up my Instagram account from my agency. It's still active today. You can search this account up today. I don't actively post in it, but you can still search it up and take a look through this more in detail if you want. So as you can see here, my post consisted of 3 main things. I would tell stories about myself and the members on my team to humanize our agency. I would share value, as you can see here. I would help people, with social media, sharing value from the things that I learned from my businesses. And the last thing here, as you can see, is I would show some of the work that I did with my clients. Now, the real kicker wasn't in the strategy. It was the fact that I posted every single day over and over and over, week over week and month over month. Now, a lot of posts got deleted because at the time I thought I was important and people actually cared what this post said or what this post said. Turns out nobody gives a shit about some fucking 19-year-old kid trying to post, Instagram marketing tips online. But I didn't know that at the time. And so I actually ended up putting a lot more content out. As you can see here, I ran podcasts. I did everything to basically create enough of a social presence for me. So anytime I was doing outreach, People had a lot of content that they could look through. Anytime I went to a local networking event, I said, oh, hey, search me up on Instagram. They'd search me up on Instagram, and they could see that I was a legit, hustling, hardworking kid telling my story that people wanted to give the opportunity to work with them. And that right there was the key to the success that I had with my first agency. Now, in addition to that, what you can see here is what I'll show you guys here is how I would actually convert people into working with me. So this is one of the clients that I worked with for a long time, and it just came to my head here. And so as you can see here, I would just DM them out of the blue with one of the worst outreach messages you could possibly imagine. So let me go through this real quick. Hey, no name, no custom first name, no customization. Hey, I sent you guys an email and I thought you should follow up here. I discovered you guys browsing through Instagram. Great work in establishing your digital identity. What the fuck is a digital identity? That's just dumb. Anyways, my name is Dylan and I'm one of the owners here at Wilson Media. Also the only owner here at Wilson Media. I'm reaching out to you because we've been working with clients in the sports industry. Our clients came to us struggling to create good content for marketing and overwhelmed with the amount of time social media takes. Wilson Media resolves their issues with our monthly content plan and social media management plans. Our happy clients have become more productive with the extra time satisfied with our professional content we deliver to showcase their brand. Would you be by any chance dealing with similar issues? Now, the reason I share this with you guys is hopefully so you guys can sit there and think, I'm not as much as a fucking moron as Dylan used to be. At least I'm better than Dylan used to be, right? Because this is probably one of the worst outreach messages that I've ever even shown on my channel. And I've seen some bad fucking outreach messages before. But the reason I show this to you is because this outreach right here that is absolutely god-awful was able to allow a 19 and 20-year-old kid to make $25,000 a month on approximately $80,000 or 80% profit margins. Do the math. I was 19, 20 years old doing nothing but hard work. I didn't have the right scripts. I didn't have the right strategy, but I showed up every fucking day, and that is what allowed to do it. And that's why I share this with you guys. It's not the scripts. It's not the strategy. It's not the special tactics. It's if you show up every fucking day and you put in so much work, it becomes impossible to fail. That is what makes you successful. That is what's going to get you to the next level, okay? And my first agency was real life living proof of that. Okay, and then from there, like I said, the real magic in this agency and the why it was to be able to grow as fast as it did was because I had relentless customer service to the detriment of my own health, to the detriment of my own mental stability, to the detriment of my own life. And honestly, I hate to admit it, but even the people around me's life, I cared so much about my clients getting results that I would not sleep at night unless they did. I would stay up all night long. I would wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning. I would drive 2 hours just to go meet with, I would do crazy things in order to make sure that my clients were satisfied. And I got to the point where I became a literal slave, a fucking slave to my clients, right? And although that is what allowed me to really explore all areas of marketing, although that is what allowed me to build thick skin, although that is what allowed me to be able to build the foundations that I've been able to build with the future agencies that I'll get into you guys today, it made my life a living misery. And in fact, to put this into perspective, one day I took a single day off of work to go boating with my friends. I came home to 27 missed calls, not because clients were mad, but simply because they wanted a revision here, they wanted to ask a question here, and all that kind of stuff. And eventually I hit my breaking point. And during one of the lowest phases of my business, when I just couldn't take it anymore, I stumbled across a new book that had just came out at the time. You may be familiar with it. The book was $100 Million Offers. And as I read this book, I began to see business through a new perspective. And that book sold me on the ideas of, instead of charging cheap and working with many clients and doing okay results, I charge a lot of money and I get really good at one thing. And so with that, I came up with the idea. I was like, okay, well, what if I charged $5,000 plus $100 per show and I only targeted gym owners, right? Why did I want to target gym owners? Only because I had some past success stories working with gym owners at Wilson Media. And that was what I decided to do. So over the next 3 or 4 months, I began to shut down Wilson Media, step away from it. I kept a couple clients there just so I didn't have to lose all my income. And with all this additional free time, I went to build out my offer, build out my service delivery, and then build out my outbound campaigns to launch my second agency, Outwork Media, that served local gyms. And after 3 months of hard work, I was getting ready to launch, and I remember the day, it was January 1st, I hit launch, and for the next 7 days, I made $0, I booked 0 appointments, and I was freaking the fuck out because I was thinking, oh my God, I just shut down a multi-six-figure agency to launch something new and it's not working. I'm an idiot. I can't believe what happened, right? And then I made a little pivot. And I made a little pivot into doing a hybrid outreach strategy that went on to make me just under $24,000 in the next 4 weeks alone. Because what I started to do was, instead of just straight up pitching people, I took a step back. And what I did was reached out to people, basically offering to help them in exchange for a testimonial. Let me explain. I would hit up people on Instagram and I would introduce myself and I would tell them that I've already made them a video about how they can beat out the local competitors in this area, similar to how my current case study already did. And then once I got their interest, they would send over their email. Then I would go back to my computer and I would create a custom loom where I would basically compare what they were doing to their local competitors. So for example, I would pull up, competitors that were in their local area and give them real insights, real ideas as to how they could beat out their competitors. Then I would send that loom over to them, offering to basically hop on a call with them to where I could help them implement on their ideas in exchange for some goodwill testimonial. And I did this to logically justify why I would be wanting to give free advice without them feeling like I'm just going to sell them something. So their likelihood to actually jump on a call with me was sky high. Then what I would do is I would hop on that call with them and I would basically build them out their own $100 million offer. And I would go deep and I would show them how maybe they were just charging $67 an hour for personal training. What if they value stacked, made this appear as though it was a $1,000 offer and then sold it for $200, thus double increasing their prices, but making the offer so much more enticing. And I would fully sell these people on that $100 million offer is the key to solving their problems, all the problems that they're facing in the gym. And then once I had done nothing but provided value, I would hit them with this question. Awesome, so now do you see how this is gonna work? They'd be like, yes, I finally understand it. I think this is really gonna work. Awesome, how are you gonna drive traffic to it? You're like, I don't know. Then they'd be like, could you help us with that? Literally every single time. Because I provided so much value, I haven't told them anything, they would then say, could you help me with that? And here's what I did. I didn't, get all commission breath and say, yes, here's how we can do, because that would be rushing the sale. And I hadn't built up a long enough relationship with people to close people on the 5K offer that I had. So I said this, okay, yeah, no, not a problem. I have a meeting though in 5 minutes, okay? So I can't meet you with you right now, but what we can do is we can find a time tomorrow to meet, which in their mind, they were literally asking for me to pitch them. And I said, no, I'm not interested right now, right? I further increased my frame. I further increased my trust. And then between that first meeting and that second meeting, I would send them case studies. I would send them warm-up assets. I would send them additional assets that further pre-sold them. So then when I hopped on that second call, they were so warm with me that it was literally like closing a referral, which is why I was able to close over $24,000 of cash collected in the first 4 weeks after the first week of just fucking sucking with this agency. Alright guys, so now you guys understand the high-level strategy of how I built my second agency. I'm gonna actually break down the full conversation and the full process that I did to close the second person that I onboarded on this offer. So as you can see, this was my DM pitch at the time. It was hey, and then it was a custom compliment. It was my case study, and then it was telling them that I have already made a video for them, and is it cool if I send it over? But they didn't respond. But me, because I actually want to make money and I actually didn't want to be fucking broke, and I actually had a little bit of effort that separated me from 99% of the lazy motherfuckers that are plaguing this earth right now, I followed up with them, right? And after the follow-up, I got sure send the video. It was kind of a cold response. I'll take a look, thanks. Sounds good, what's your email? I got the email. Now, once I got the email, I sent them over this. I said, hey Carla, thanks for sending over your email. I'm excited to share the video with you, link. And then what I'll do is I'll stop the video now so you guys can watch what this video said.
Hey, it's Dylan here. I just want to thank you very, very much for sending over your email address. And I want to be very clear with you right off the bat. I got absolutely nothing to sell you in this video. I do this video because, I've learned that after working with well over 100 different people in the marketing world, that if I just provide value first to other people, eventually it'll come back my way. That doesn't mean through you or even through somebody you tell. I just know that as a whole, if I provide value into the industry, eventually it'll come back my way in the long run. Now, I came across you guys on Instagram. I finally got around to reaching out with you guys a couple days ago. And I mean, you guys, what you guys provide here, it basically reminds me of the first 14 years of my life. I played hockey. I played up until the BCMML, or at least it was called the BCMML at the time when I played. Right after leaving hockey, I began to coach hockey. I was in a program with Innovative Fitness, and a hockey training company run out of Burnaby, Coquitlam area called Inside Edge. So like literally like the programs that you guys offer here, I felt like very connected to, just because of like I've lived these programs for so long. Since leaving the hockey industry, I started, this marketing agency, and then just naturally I was gravitated towards companies like yours. So I figured I would reach out to you guys and just provide some free help, because I really like what you're doing, and I know just a couple small tweaks here in the marketing, I think could, leave a real lasting impact, just because I saw like how it did with a company that's like very similar to yours, does like the exact same thing here in Vancouver that I worked with. So what I wanted to bring to your guys' attention was mainly in your guys' offering here. First of all, I love those videos that you guys put out, super professional. They look really good. But the problem that I see with your website here is how you guys portray what you guys don't tell of what you're offering. Now, what I mean by that is, going through your website, it was very, very tough to find any, real information of, when I enter the program, what do I get? And I understand that, there's a lot of call to actions to book a consult, and I understand that during the consult, you would ask those questions. The problem with that is when, people are just browsing, browsing the online, browsing the internet, looking to solve their problems, looking to solve their, looking to become a better hockey player, looking to get your sexy back, or whatever it is. Unless they have one of the 3 C's that I call, like a connection, they were referred to, or they know you or the coaches personally. Cost, you're the cheapest one, or the third one, which is convenience, your super convenient location to where they live or where they work. The likelihood of them reaching out is low, unless you can stop them and gravitate them in how you communicate what you get in your programs and the copywriting you provide. So if I was in your position, with the marketing experience and the background that I have, working with companies just like yours, and from what we've seen, would be to share a lot more of the inside information that on your website here. And with that, I like how you guys have the 12-week program. We've had a lot of success running 6 and 12-week programs with the clients that I run. But one thing I would, 8 weeks to a stronger, braver, more confident you. Like, I know it seems so basic and whatnot, and so like it's hard to tell, but it would be so nice if you could put like a, some numbers to it, like 8, lose X amount of weight, or, you'll get this, or kind of like the transformation that people will go through if they decide to sign up to the program. And one thing that I would really do, and it's where we saw the home run success with that Twist client, because we only spent about $500 on ads. So to spend $500 and get $8,000 back, like the ROI, as you can see, was pretty substantial. What we did was we stacked a ton of value in the programs that we offered. So what that means is, instead of a, 8-week program and you get this, and this, you get an 8-week program. But if you sign up, we have 20 spots remaining. If you sign up and take one of the 20 spots, you get XYZ in a bonus. If these were all valued at, retail cost, it costs you $1,000, but we're going to offer you the whole 8-week program for $300. And, when people are just browsing and they're price shopping and they're just looking at their options and whatnot, and they come across a program like that, it's like, wow, I want to get in. Like, this is an amazing deal. None of the other programs are offering that. So, to recap what I said, if I was in your guys' position, I would, really just want to bring forth a lot of the information in a way that, describes the features, benefits, and results that people will get in your programs as well. I'm just talking about the adult programs right now, but the same thing does apply to the youth elite ones. The ones that we're running with Twist were for a youth elite hockey program. But that said, I understand that I just threw a ton of information at you, and because of that, I wanted to help you out more. Like I said, I got nothing to sell you, but I wanted to hop on a 15-20 minute call where I could kind of just like help you guys kind of, create a little plan, get this down on paper. So then you guys can, either, I don't know if you do it yourself, or you can send it over to your web developer and then he can put it up on this website. And I can almost guarantee you guys that, significant more conversions will come in. On average, when we do this with other clients, we see about a 2.5 increase in the conversions they get. Like that Twist example, I think they're getting like 5 or 6 consults a month. They got like 42 in the first month when we changed up their offering and whatnot. So the results are real. And because of that, I just wanted to provide value. I know you guys are opening back up tomorrow. So if you guys can implement this and then hit the ground running and make 2022 an amazing year. So love to hop on a quick 15-20 minute call, walk you through this, and wish you guys an amazing day.
Okay guys, so now that you've seen what that video was, afterwards let's hop on a quick 15-minute call so I can help get a head start on the points I bring up. Chat soon. They didn't respond. So I followed up with them again on email, and as you can see, I followed up with them here again on Instagram, and they didn't respond again. So I hit them with a case study in my third follow-up, and finally I got the response. It was a little bit of a lengthy response. They had some questions for me. They had some objections, like they only had $500 to $800. Spoiler alert, they ended up spending $4K with me. And then I also got a follow-up trust objection that was like, hey, isn't that gym that you claimed was a case study shut down? And from there, you can see here, I was actually able to overcome both of these objections and push them back onto a call, but they didn't respond. So I followed them up with, again, always including custom compliments in the follow-up to show them that it wasn't just automated and it was actually me taking the time to give them one-on-one attention. I finally got thanks Thursday afternoon. I'm free from noon, from 2, whatever it was. We scheduled that time. We sat down. We had a conversation. I showed them. I did the value. I did the consulting call. I built them a $100 million offer. I was able to amaze them, show them that I actually knew what I was talking about. I pushed them away when they asked if I could help them with it. I scheduled the follow-up call, and then from there, I was able to close them on a 4K setup fee, plus I think it was $89 per person that I sent to their gym. And then this client went on to be one of my favorite clients that I ever got to work with. And in addition to that, after 2 months of working with them, they went to launch an online app, basically helping women that were going through hormone issues. And I did all the marketing and the foundation from their app. So that came as a direct result from it, and plenty of other amazing opportunities that happened just simply from this one relentless outreach plus follow-up sequence. Now you may be wondering, if that was going so well, why did you shut it down? Well, what I'm about to share with you now is the scariest thing that's ever happened to me in business. It's the most stressed I've ever been, and honestly guys, if I were you and I would listen to what I'm about to tell you, I wouldn't trust that person who told me that story ever again, because this is the bad story and it makes me look really bad. But I value transparency and honesty over everything, so here the fucking goes, okay? So what ended up happening is, although I had a lot of really good results with some of the clients, I ended up making a big mistake that almost really put me in danger, like seriously put me in danger with, probably about 50% of the clients that I signed on. And the reason why is because the offer that I had was $5,000 up front plus $100 per show. But because I had provided so much upfront value, because I had pushed people away, told people that I was attached to the sale, made it almost appear as though I was doing them a favor by working with them, I was able to close these people, these gym owners who, to be honest, had to go into a little bit of financial stress in order to pay those invoices, right? But then what happened is I closed them on the deal, and it was $5K plus $100 per show, and if they're not profitable after 90 days, I would refund the difference, right? And then because I collected so much money, as you guys probably would too, I thought I was going to be rich. I thought I was going to be a millionaire. I was like, oh my God, car shop and shit like that. But 6 weeks later, everything turned into a complete fucking disaster, because even though that on my end, I was holding up my side of the deal, I was sending them 10 to 40 booked appointments per month to each individual gym, which, you do the math, that's an additional 1 to 4K that I was collecting. My clients were signing literally none of them. They couldn't close any of them. And I made one of the most rookie mistakes that almost cost me my entire business and then some, by not putting a contract stipulation that said that they had to close at least 10%. I just assumed that they would close at least 10%, but they were cold traffic, and these gyms had never dealt with cold traffic before, so they didn't know how to close these clients. And so what ended up happening is these gyms began to send lawyers after me. They began to come after me. They began to threaten me, and I basically was faced with 2 decisions. I either A, had 6 weeks to refund them almost $50,000 that they had spent with me, or B, I had 6 weeks to find a fucking way to make them back all their money. And I chose B. And so what I did is I went to one of my clients and I said, hey, I know you're struggling, I know you've lost some money, but I'm in a very bad situation here and I need to make this fucking work. You stop paying for the ads, let me put the ads on your credit card, I'll call up the leads for you, I'll hop on the Zoom call and I'll sell them for you. This client was an online personal trainer who had 5 clients at the time, and they sold a $1,000 package. By the end of the first 7 days, I closed 10 of them. I made them back all their money and then some, and then came back to that client check-in call. I was feeling like a fucking boss. I was like, oh yeah, I was like, fuck you just didn't know how to close, motherfucker. I didn't actually say that. I was very kind and respectful. But that's what I thought inside of my head. From there, I went on to the next gym and the next gym and the next gym and the next gym and sold my way out of this hole. And although that was the most stressed I've ever been in business, it was the time when, because I was a sole proprietorship with lawsuits, like I didn't know what was going to happen. And I thought the only solution at the time was just to like flee the country. Go somewhere crazy where they can't catch me. That taught me more about business in 6 weeks than any other period of time has had me. And more importantly, that taught me more about sales than any other time in my life ever has. And I've become an exponentially better salesman. And I've been able to grow businesses exponentially faster as a result of going that. So net, I look at it as a positive experience that I went through. Although it was a shitty time and I did some bad shit during that time. I was scared. And I'll be honest with you guys, there was times where I would just I would stay on the Zoom call for hours just to close people on $1,000 fitness packages because I needed to fucking sell them so bad. People that didn't want to be closed, I would just be relentless. I regret it. It wasn't the best thing to do, but I had to do what I had to do. And I'm just so glad that I got through it. And I'm so glad that the people that I did end up selling, even though they didn't probably want to be sold, ended up getting amazing results because I had really good clients with really good service delivery. So that being said, after I got through that, as you can imagine, I swore off the idea of ever running an agency ever again. And so I started to look into e-commerce, started to look into software, started to look into other business opportunities, apparel. It was kind of just like testing the water. And this was during a downtime. I also signed up for and completed a 100K ultra marathon during this time of my life because I just was looking for something different to do. I just wanted a new opportunity. I just wanted a new challenge. But during this time, I had some people reach out to me that were just in the earlier stages of starting an agency, or they had a little bit of an agency, but they were kind of struggling to get it off the ground. And because they didn't really have much going on in my life, I offered to kind of help them up. I just DM'd them on Instagram and I offered to kind of help them out. And then what ended up happening with these few little kids that I helped out one-on-one completely shocked me, right? Because I hadn't followed the conventional path of scaling agencies, right? Because I never bought a program, a course, a mentorship. I never even watched YouTube. Heck, I was already at 10 to 15K a month before I even knew what the word SMMA meant. Like I was literally just like trying to make money by providing marketing for clients, and that's all I knew how to do. Like I didn't know what SMMA was, right? I had a very unconventional path to growing agencies, right? So when I applied it to the more saturated lead gen SMMA business model, like people like Tony went from free trial clients to over 17K a month in just 90 days, or people like Riley, who's one of the first guys that I worked with, who was stuck at 1.5K a month for over a year with his agency, to scaling up to 12K a month in just 90 days as well. Or Matthew Bison, who was a full-time university student taking 2 degrees with no business knowledge, but kind of knowing how to video editing, to over 10K a month in just 59 days. He did it at the 59-day mark, and also got to work with industry tycoons such as Joel Kaplan, right? And after going through that 1 to 2 month time period of being able to get a lot of crazy results for people, I was like, oh shit, maybe there's something to this. And so then I came up with what I thought was a genius idea of, whoa, what if we all get to meet together at the same time? And so once a week, I started to host a little mastermind in addition to the one-on-one help that I gave to these people that I got to work with, which was the original birthplace of RSC. And from this moment, as you guys may know, RSC has gone on to serve over 500 different clients while revolutionizing how we're able to support the agencies that we get to partner with by providing an intense one-on-one attention that literally nobody else fucking does in the entire industry, and I'll fucking guarantee you that, which is why we have a 98% satisfaction score and are able to print out more case studies, more testimonials, and more social proof on any damn fucking day than most of our competitors are able to generate on a monthly basis. But let me tell you guys how we've actually built RSC. So the core foundation of RSC is relentless organic, and to give until people ask if they can work with us, right? We never ask people, can we work with them? Everybody that we've ever worked with has come to us after consuming immense amount of my content and said, hey Dylan, can you help me? Can I work with you guys? And what that does is it creates a really good relationship. And then what we do is when we have somebody that we agree to work with, we provide relentless, intense one-on-one support. And then here's the kicker. The reason that we do this, the selfish reason that we do this, is because if we get in the trenches, really dirty, provide all the support that we need to A, make sure our clients succeed, make sure our partners succeed, we also learn new things with every single client that we work with. And the new things that we learn with every single client that we work with, we turn it into a lesson, we turn it into more valuable content that we can re-give on the front end to provide more and more and more value, to get more people that come to us, to then we can provide more one-on-one support, so then we can get more findings, so then we can turn that into more value that we can give, and it creates this perpetual flywheel. So let me show you guys what this looks like tactical and in real life. So obviously we have the first core foundation, which is my YouTube channel, which you obviously know because you're watching right now, unless you're watching this on Pornhub, which hopefully my videos haven't come up on there yet. Which is the foundation, right? So all the information, all the content that we share are direct lessons or direct experiences or direct stories that have happened either in one of the agencies that I am currently running and leading, or one of the agencies that we've been partnered with and is currently actively running. And then in addition to all this YouTube content where we package up our lessons and findings and give them to you guys, we have free coaching calls where we're able to deliver this in a one-on-one format every single week. We have an entire 0 to 25K a month course where we've condensed a lot of the best lessons so you guys can follow and see an exact roadmap of what you guys need to do. And we have a free community where all you guys can learn together how to do this based on all the lessons that we have taught for you guys. So then once we have somebody come to us, how we actually make sure that they actually succeed is by partnering them up with a active 6-figure agency. And these guys are verified on Stripe. They had to show me their Stripe before they're even allowed to have the interview with me. Agency owner that gets to partner with them and get into the trenches with them and work with them one-on-one to first map out an OKR, which basically is going to reverse engineer all the steps that they need to take in order to hit their goals, and then getting to work with their agency partner one-on-one to build out everything that they need to do. So whether it's appointment setting, cold calling, social media outreach, paid ads, or prospect indoctrination, that's separate to it there, building out all the systems, building out the team, building out the scripts, writing the scripts, everything that they need to do in order to guarantee that they can book enough appointments and able to close enough deals so they can hit their goal. And then also setting up the same service delivery infrastructure that they can use to create a perpetual flywheel, just like we've created inside of their agency, so they can get flooded with social proof too, so they can use that for more sales assets, so they can book more appointments, so they can achieve exponential scale within their own agency. And then the last thing that we'll do is we've created an exclusive community for our partners so they can surround themselves with winners and just see all the social proof and all the results that the people that are going through the exact same process of them to provide external motivation and internal support to make success almost impossible not to happen, so long as they're not a moron, not lazy, and don't quit the process. So this helps our clients immensely because they can see it's proof, they can meet people that are in the same position as them, which motivates them, and B, it further speeds up the flywheel of social proof because everybody is in here winning together. And as a result of this constant feedback loop of value, results, more value, more results, you can see a shit ton of the results that has happened. That's why we've been able to generate millions of dollars for our SMMA partners. And as a result, receiving a fair share, a fair compensation in return for our own personal take-home income. So that is the foundation that we used in order to scale Relentless Success Club to a multi-6-figure coaching agency. Now, during the process of building RSC, although it has been wonderful, I always felt the urge of but Dylan, I don't run an SMMA lead. I don't run a lead gen SMMA anymore. So technically you're just a fucking guru, right? Technically you should go jump off the building because that's what gurus deserve, right? They're just fucking scammers on the internet and fucking everybody hates them, right? Right? I know, I felt the same way. I felt the urge to get back in the game. And in addition to that, I felt the urge to be able to provide the highest form of value that I could to my community inside of RSC. And so what I did is I went back to zero and I started another agency. And so I did this publicly. You may have found my channel as a result of me doing this. And I took that agency from zero to $36,000 a month in about 8 weeks. And then what ended up happening is, I had a couple other people involved in that agency. And after we brought on a few different partners, it made most sense for me to give that agency back to my partners so they could roll it into a bigger ecosystem of agencies at the given time. But what I did in order to take an agency from an idea to picking a niche to 36K cash collected in 4 weeks to then technically getting it acquired was first, I built out my entire team before I even started. Now, obviously this is a little bit more of an advanced technique, but because I wanted to scale quickly and because I had the 4 or 5 years of experience behind me in order to do it, I was able to build out a team of cold callers, a team of closers, and a team of service delivery before I even started. So I built out SOPs for them. I built out all the assets that they needed, and then I completed a shit ton of interviews in order to build out the right team. And then once I had the right team in place, I met with my cold callers and I had them doing about $400 to $500 dials per day, dialing a lead list that we got off of Fiverr using closed CRM to be able to rip through as many dials as possible, and then setting appointments on my closer's calendar. And after about a week or two of doing that, we were able to get our first couple of deals through the door. Although it wasn't pretty, we got the deals through the door. And we got the deals through the door, which allowed us to be able to reinvest some of those profits back into paid ads, which is ultimately when we were able to take this agency to the point where we were booking hundreds of appointments every single week, and we peaked at $36K a month before I stepped out of the picture to go on and build another agency, which I am currently doing right now. More details on that coming soon. Now, once we were able to onboard these clients, we were actually able to get them results too, even though I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. But I'll tell you why. What we did is for the first 3 or 4 clients that we onboarded them to a completely blank slate. And then we met with them and we spoke with them. I emailed them every single day, asking them for feedback and asking them how we can improve and asking them what they wanted. And so we used the first 4 or 5 clients to build out literally a custom service delivery for them because it was what mortgage brokers wanted. We didn't come up with what we thought people wanted. Instead, we brought people on board and literally just asked them what they wanted and then gave them that. And it did twofold. The first thing that it did was it gave more lenience, because the first couple clients that you get as your agency begins to grow are ultimately going to be the ones that are probably not going to be happy with you because you're probably going to fuck up the most. But what we did is, because we were making things custom for them, they felt like they were getting a custom white glove service, that we are literally doing everything that their beck and demand wanted. And they were like, holy shit, I've never been able to work with an agency that's been so responsive to my demands. So they were happy. And in addition to that, we were able to build out an exceptional service delivery because we were building out based on exactly what they were asking for. So when future people came on, they were like, holy shit, this is exactly made for mortgage brokers. Right? And that is why I was able to go from not knowing anything about mortgage broker service delivery to literally getting people loan applications in the first 3 days of working with us, booking 13 appointments in a single week, and much more client results, which continued to our flywheel, so then we could further field our sales team with more social proof. So that is how, after 2 years of being a broke motherfucker, started to figure out how to make money online, and went on to scale 4 different SMMAs to 6 figures, and 1 to 7 figures. And hopefully you guys got 10x the value in comparison to the time that you invested watching this video. Now, transparently, if you do want me to partner with you guys and have us come into your business, work one-on-one, and build up the same infrastructure, and I'll even guarantee you'll make at least $25,000 a month as a result of working with us. And if you don't, guarantee it's because you're a complete fucking moron, and I'll even put that in writing for you. Click the link below. You can fill out an interview, and we may or may not speak with you. Transparency, we do get 100 applications a week, 100 to 200 actually, and only accept a very few because we work on a revenue share basis. So we obviously have to find people that are mutually in line. But with that, even if you don't, still love you, but I would encourage you to leave a comment below, ask me a question. I respond to all my YouTube comments, answering the questions there, and I'm more than happy to take a little bit of time out of my day to help provide more direction for you. And with that, I appreciate you. As always, I'm eternally grateful that you chose to watch this video. I hope to see you guys in the next one.